Hello and welcome to our home. Welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. This morning I am making an apron. I have created my own pattern. I used some paper that you would use to wrap dishes and stuff if you're packing to make the pattern, and some blue tape because my paper wasn't quite long enough. I have picked out the fabrics that I'm going to use. I got this last year on sale for $1.81 for 1 yard of fabric. This is from the sheet that I bought recently. And this is a back quarter. And I have chosen another set that I'm going to do later on. This was also on clearance at Walmart for $1. This is the fabric that I chose for the second apron, and this is a back quarter print that I'm going to use for the pocket. As I said, I've already cut out my pattern and I'm going to be sewing my pieces together. I've got the apron here. This is just, it's folded in half how it's cut out, and that's a pretty fabric. And then I've got my two pockets cut, and you can put your pockets this way or this way depending on how deep you want your pockets. And then I have cut my fabric for my straps that I'm going to need on my apron for my neck strap and for the back of my apron. There's the neck strap. This is 36 inches long. This is 24 inches long. And I used a vintage apron to make my pattern because I'm not going to pay for a pattern in the store that cost $8 and up for an apron. Now, I think the prices are getting a little ridiculous on patterns, and I'm so thankful I have a lot of patterns already on hand. I will occasionally buy one if I need it, but I'm like my mother and my grandmother. They pieced together patterns and made their own patterns. They would take apart outfits that had worn out and they would create a pattern from it. And that is the way to go if you don't have the money. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my fabric over twice, and I'm just going to go around the whole outside of my apron, my pockets, and the straps to finish them off before I put the apron together. And I'm starting at the top part, and I'm not doing anything but pressing it down with my fingers and folding it over so that I'll have a good seam on the back with no fray. And I'm just going to sew this real quick. You also want to make sure that your stitches are set to the length that you want, because if you do have to rip out, you may want longer seams. I'm using a Brother Project Runway limited edition. It's a computerized sewing machine that I bought at Walmart. And because this is an apron, I'm not too concerned about the color of thread that I'm using. I just left the white thread in here that I had. I always also have several bobbins made up so that when I get to that point that if I need a bobbin, all I have to do is switch it out. And I forgot my scissors. Okay, I'm back and I've got my pockets pinned, and I've got them 2 inches from the edge, and they're about 15 inches from the bottom, so that they'll be about the right height for my hand to go in my pocket if I need something. And I'm going to sit here and sew these real quick. It shouldn't take very much longer. I've got the straps ready to go. I apologize, my dogs were barking. I had to get up. And I'm just going to sew this real quick on my sewing machine. I wish I had a better system where you could actually see me sewing, but this doesn't take very long. I do make sure that I back stitch on my pockets to ensure that they're not going to tear apart. And I need to pull my pins out as I go because I don't want to sew over my pins. The pockets you want to make sure that you put on here evenly as possible because it will show when you put the apron on. That's the only thing that I'm really consistent on. If you're new to sewing and your seams are a little crooked, that's okay. That's just personality added to your piece. So we're going to finish up this pocket. One more turn on this pocket. I think I need to come down a little further. Hold on, y'all. Sometimes you just got to take another stitch or two, get it where you want it. There. Because I want it close to the seam as I can get it to the outside of the pocket. I want to make sure my fabric's not all bunched up underneath there, and I am going to finish this side. Got one more pin to take out. And if you get down to that into your pocket and that fold under it looks like it's showing, you can just fold it under again at an angle and get it in there good and snug, and it won't show. And I'm finishing off my pocket by doing a back stitch and a forward stitch. My needle up. I don't like my threads showing, so I always try to clip them close. I've got another pin there. That's what one pocket looks like sewn on, y'all. And it's deep enough for my hand to get in there good. I've got extra space in there. So if I want my cell phone in there, I just throw it in my pocket. I'm going to sew the other pocket, and I will be back here in a short to put on the finishing touches, and you shall see my apron on me in a bit. Okay, I've got both pockets sewn on now that you can see. It just takes a little bit of patience to put the pockets on, but the seams are really, really close to the edge, as you can tell. And I take my time with that part. Now I'm going to go ahead and sew my straps and we will finish off this apron, and I will show you what it looks like when I've completed it. Got a string hanging there. So I hope you like this little project that I'm working on. I need some new aprons, and I decided this was the cheapest route for me to go. I already had some fabrics that I've been picking up. I try to buy my fabrics on clearance when I can, just to save a little bit of money. I bought a sheet at Goodwill, y'all, and got it for 50% off. It was $1.50 for a full-size sheet, and that's a lot of yards of fabric. And I'm going to make an apron out of the gingham also, and I probably will put some of the leftover rooster and chicken fabric that I've got here as the pockets on it, so it'll be a cute alternative to this one. It probably won't have the polka dots in it. I'll probably just do, you know, everything with another fabric to do my straps, but it will be cute just like this one will. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm working on the last strap, and I am back stitching the ends because they're so thick. I'm taking my time. I'm going down just the open seam side, and then I'm attaching it in a box on my apron, and I am back stitching the two rows that are going to be having the most stress on them so that my straps don't come loose. I will be back shortly with an apron that was made this morning. Alright, y'all, I have got all my straps on. I have sewn them. They're on there really good and tight. You can see the back stitching. This is the next strap. If you don't like the way this looks in the corner, you can always put a big button over it to make it look like it's fastened. It doesn't really bother me. There's the other strap, and I will be right back. Okay, y'all, you can see where it falls on me, and it falls right at my waist, and I just tie it on. I'm going to step back so you can maybe see the whole thing. If not, I'll get my husband to do a shot of me. Thank you.